All right. Coming.
There we go.
Go.
Recording. Forget. Good.
The following is brought to you in part by MFC Studios. The views of the show's host and guests do not necessarily reflect those of the management, owners, or staff of this radio station. And now, it came from the radio.
And welcome once again to It Came From The Radio, the official show of the Big Apple Con. This is your host, Mark Torres, speaking. We are here in front of a live studio audience at the East Middle Public Library for our 105th live show. I am here with my co-host, Elman and Jenny Feldy.
Thank you.
And we're going to be talking to, with, and about, which our special guest is right here, is award-winning musical theater writer and performer, Sair Kaufman.
Hi! It's a pleasure to be here.
As I mentioned, we're just going to be talking to them in just a few minutes, but before we do any of that, we have to take it away with the news. The news is brought to you in part by the fine folks at sci-fi.radio. That is sci-fi.
For your Wi-Fi.
As well as the fine folks at the Big Apple Con, which we are the official radio show of, celebrating over 26, 7, 8, 9 years of comic bookness and pop culture stuff. For more information, go to www.bigapplecc.com. The next convention is scheduled all the way for November the 21st. Tickets are not on sale right now. Also want to give out shout-outs to our Patreons, of which there are Danny Grillo, award-winning director Jared Burrell, Newsday famous Resin Media, Shadow Rabbit Art, Yasmin Array, The Huracan, Millie Portez, and GTS Comics. If you all want to have your own little shout-out, go to our website, www.itcamefromradio.com. The little button on there takes you right to our Patreon page. Also, on the It Came From The Radio website is my book, Designated. A book about two warring alien races fighting over a new discovered power source. The war finds its way to planet Earth, and as a result, some humans gain ability. Issue 1 and Issue 2 is on sale right now. And one of the special things we do for my comic is we also give a special designated shout-out. So there's a little button on there if you want to help donate for the comic. And we have a special designated shout-out for Jimmy Palmiotti. So thank you, Jimmy, for that. All right, so
That's it? That's the whole shout out?
We got one. We got one.
I thought you were going to like do a little dance, sing a little song.
No, we got one. They get a special designated shout out. So that's why
that's it.
A designated shout out, that's what they got. You want to give them a song? You want
Yeah,
to give
sure.
Jimmy a song? Let's hear it.
What's your favorite song? I sing it.
Jimmy, you're great.
I love it. I was going to sing the Alabama song by the Doors, but we'll do that another time.
As always, we take it away with the sad news. We have two bits of sad news this week. Singer Robert Peabo Bryson died recently of a stroke. He is most remembered as the official recording voice of the Disney films for Beauty and the Beast with Celine Dion and Aladdin's A Whole New World with Regina Bell. He was 75. Jen, were you a Disney child? Were you a Disney person?
You know this.
Well, I have to ask you every time because the
I'm
listeners
still not
may
a
not
Disney
know.
child, and I'm even older than I was and less of a child than last month.
So you're not a Disney fan?
I
Beauty
thought
and the
I was
Beast?
90 years old at 5 years old, so no,
Okay.
not really, no.
Were you a Disney fan growing up? Beauty and the Beast? Aladdin?
Big on Mulan.
Big on Mulan.
They also have some of the most fabulous composers and lyricists of all time, probably. I mean, Alan Menken, ad nauseum. I could go on.
But no Beauty and the Beast, no Aladdin.
I'm sure I saw both of them, but Mulan was my big
Mark,
favorite.
if you had to be the Beauty or the Beast, what character would you want to be?
The Anne?
And?
I'll be the Anne.
The Anns?
Yeah.
That's it?
I'm neither the Beauty or the Beast, I'm the Anne.
Oh,
That's
okay,
good.
okay. Clever man here. You should have a radio show.
Moving on for the second and last bit of sad news.
All right.
Actor and singer Anthony Stewart Head also died recently from complications of pneumonia. While appearing in a slew of movies and TV shows, he is perhaps best known for his role as the Prime Minister Michael Stevens for 23 episodes in the series Little Britain from 2003 to 2006, Uther Pendragon in the 43 episodes of the series Merlin, which ran from 2008 to 2012, and of course, Rupert Giles in 121 episodes of the series Buffy the Vampire Slayer from 1997 to 2003. He was 72. Now, Jen, I know I've asked you before if you were a fan of Buffy,
Yes.
and you are. Do you
I
remember
actually
Giles?
know what you're talking about for once.
Really?
R.I.P. Yeah, I know
Fan
all
of
about
him?
pneumonia and the Giles. He's a memorable guy
Remember-
in Buffy. You couldn't have Buffy without him, right?
It's-
There would be no Buffy without Giles.
Giles, right.
So,
What I find interesting is that he died.
Yeah.
Nicholas Brendan died, which was Xander.
oh my God.
And then Dawn also died recently. It's like
yeah.
within the past
Oh yeah.
year and a half. Those three of them. It's crazy how that's
There's
like
a
from
Slayer out there,
Right.
and it's not Buffy, or maybe it is.
You
Maybe
think-
Sarah Michelle Gellar is the real Slayer
that.
in
You
real
think
life.
so? Is that what happened?
Hey, you never know.
You a fan of Buffy?
Oh yeah.
You have fond memories of Giles?
Yeah. Well, and Willow.
Bedroom memories.
Bedroom memories?
No, it was an awakening for many.
I don't know, maybe. Giles was a handsome man. You never know.
Yes, it was definitely Giles. Of
Could
course.
be memories in the bedroom, the shower, the kitchen. Taking a walk.
What were you doing in the kitchen?
You think about all types of things when you're in the kitchen. A lot of times I'll call Mark with some nonsense. You never know. You never know, right? I could see doing a cooking show with Giles.
Oh, the cooking show. Is that
I
what
think
we're talking
I
about?
think he would be great for a cooking show.
Hank.
Well,
Yeah.
not anymore.
Wait, come on. What do you think I'm talking about?
Cooking show.
Because you guys are
Uh-huh.
confused. Confused.
Something's cooking already.
Oh yeah.
What is that news? So moving on for the not sad news.
Mm-hmm.
From the That's a Lot of Nuts department.
I've let him know.
The Scary Movie sequel, Part 6 for those of you keeping track, has taken the #1 spot in the domestic box office, pulling in $54.3 million in ticket sales in its first week of release, beating out the new live-action He-Man film, which came in at the #2 spot, making a disappointing $29.4 million also in its first week of release. For those of you keeping track, the Super Mario sequel is still the highest grossing film of this year so far, with $428.5 million, and the Michael Jackson biopic is #2 with $354.2 million. Jen, have you seen Michael Jackson or any of the other movies?
I have not seen Michael Jackson. Oddly, I was never really a fan too much. But I am a fan of Scary Movie.
Well, okay. Well, let me dissect this. So first,
I
of
don't
all,
like putting people down.
I can say that I've talked about this many times about being able to separate the art from the artist,
For sure.
and I think no matter what kind of music fan you are, there's at least one Michael Jackson song you at least enjoyed at some point in time. Not even any
Yeah.
of them?
I think
At least
think
one.
there's like two, but I forget the names. Yeah, there's like one or
Right.
two.
So it's like
yeah.
it's just one or two.
But I never played on repeat and repeat.
Right.
and
But it's
repeat.
like if I don't
Right.
like his song, I'm like, oh, I like this
I
one
just,
song.
you know what? I
Oh,
was
that's a Michael
always
Jackson.
confused by him and Prince. Like I thought I was very confused by the way they acted. As a young person. Like now I get it.
Okay.
But like I thought men were supposed to be like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Really?
And then I see them doing all of these and it threw me off.
So I guess
Like I'm used to like the Doors, like
right.
he was a more your stereotypical man,
Okay.
So it took me a little while. Like Dumb and Dumber, I didn't understand Dumb and Dumber either because I
Right.
just thought they were dumb. But now I'm
And
older,
dumber.
and maybe I was dumb. You know what I mean? So it's just interesting to see what hits, and that's why I ask so many questions because your mind is in different places, in different parts of your life.
This is true.
Yeah.
So, Scary Movie, you were a fan of the entire
Always.
franchise?
Simon Rex
All
is
of them?
hot. Simon Rex, huge fan.
I was a fan of Simon Rex. I always felt that he was an underutilized actor. Like, he should have been bigger.
He's getting he just got like a Grammy or an Oscar or something for a real acting role, and he's getting finally his respect. And
Really?
yeah, he toured all over in a rap group. I saw it live. It was one of the best things I ever saw. I feel like, yeah, he's not super mainstream like Madonna, but yeah, Simon Rex he gets a lot of notoriety from a lot of people who know what's up. Yeah.
What about you? You saw a Scary Movie or Super Mario
We
Brothers?
actually just saw the Backrooms movie, which
I want to hear about that.
it was very cerebral and surreal.
Okay.
And it's one of those movies where, like, the second you walk out of the theater, you're like, I wonder what YouTube analysis videos have to say about this. Like,
Yeah.
I'm so fascinated as the movie, comes out on streaming and becomes more accessible to see all of the different interpretations that people come up with.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's quite interesting what they've done.
What's your interpretation?
Oh gosh. I wouldn't know where to begin. It was fascinating to absorb, because it felt like something I would need to watch twice in order to
Right.
but it's something trauma, something
Was it boring? Or no?
memories. I think some parts of it could have been paced better,
Okay.
but overall it was a very enjoyable evening.
Okay. Interesting.
And it did
I've
not
just been
stay
curious.
its welcome. It felt like a short movie.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
That's the best.
Mm-hmm.
You always want to leave with wanting more, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you find that you prefer movies with a kind of an ambiguous type discussion movie afterwards, or do you just like straightforward, this is what the movie is, this is what happens, this is the end?
Yeah, I tend to prefer movies that are less ambiguous. So you should probably take it as a good sign that even though this movie was a fair bit ambiguous, I still enjoyed it and would recommend it.
So this is just me hot potatoing off ideas, which is in my head. The movie Obsession came out, and that's also another movie that people are going crazy discussing about
I gotta see
online.
that one, yeah.
Me too.
It reminded me of the movie called Descent, which I saw 100 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And you're familiar with Descent?
Of course.
Okay, so I'm watching that movie, and it was two guys and two girls watching the movie who went to see the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And the girls, after the movie ended, they're like, she was cheating on this guy. And the guys are like, what are you talking about? And for spoilers for however old this movie is,
Yeah.
there's a point in the movie where the girl is killing the bad guys and she accidentally kills the friend who was cheating on the guy. And that was a point of discussion between our friends, was like, did she really, maybe she didn't accidentally did it, maybe she kind of saw in the back of her eye, just kind of did it while in the excuse of the world. And also, at the end of that movie, I don't know if you know, but they have two different versions of that movie. So they have the theatrical ending and then the real ending. And that also was a form of discussion. Did she really get out at the end? And in the version in the theaters, it showed her escaping. But in the actual movie, she did not escape. And then they made a sequel of her actually getting out. So that was a discussion that I thought was thing. So is that something that you're like, oh, I like that kind of thing? Or just that guy hit the guy with the stick, he wins the end.
I tend to prefer things that subvert expectations, in the sense that I think a lot of stories kind of retread the same beats, but finding a way to do that, but also examine where did those beats come from? In what ways are they serving a modern audience, and in what ways could they be tweaked to serve a modern audience better? Yeah.
Okay. So, moving on. From this is the best way to save the movie theater business department.
Okay.
None other than AMC Theaters has announced that they are again raising prices of the Stubbs A-List program, citing rising costs of operating its venues. Starting July 15th of this year, membership will cost $29.99 per month, which is a $2 increase from the price hike of which was in May of last year. All perks remain the same, which is patrons can see up to 4 movies every week in every format, including IMAX and Dolby. They also get free upgrades on popcorn and fountain drinks, as well as a $5 reward on every $50 spent. Executives say, even with this necessary price adjustment, A-List continues to offer you exceptional value, even costing only the price of seeing about 1 to 2 movies per month, especially when you enjoy premium formats or reserve tickets online. It really is now and will continue to be a terrific bargain. For those of you who weren't paying attention or care for this matter, the A-List program was created as an answer to MoviePass. Do you remember MoviePass? We talked about that?
Yep.
Where people could watch 1 movie a day for only $10 a month. A-List started at $19.95 per month. Of note, as of this recording, AMC is running under a $4 billion debt and has been using the throw everything against the wall and see what sticks approach to make up that lost money, blocking off the best seats, as we also talked about, for their members, as well as offering 50% off movie tickets on Tuesdays and Wednesdays by adding more advertising before screenings as a passive way to increase revenue. So they have a program, and they're raising the price of the program, and at the same time, they're putting more ads in the beginnings of movies. At the same time, they're cordoning off certain section of the theater for their best practicing people to come in. Do you think this is a great way to save the movie theater business? Jen, I know you have your theories.
Is it a great way?
Is
No.
it a good idea?
But thinking like I'm trying to, walk a mile in someone else's shoes. So while you're talking, I'm thinking, all right, let's say I'm on the board.
Right.
Honestly, this sounds like something I would do. I also think they're not thinking creatively enough, and they should use some of my ideas. Which is the drug dealing. By drugs, I mean they could incorporate Oreos, which might be more addictive than cocaine, and massages. You got massages, and you get the drugs. The food is a drug. And I don't, but I guess they have that already. But they can think more, how about Chinese food? How about, right? Also, they could have like a photo booth type of thing because people love taking photos of themselves. So I can give them a whole bunch of ways. They're really not thinking out of the box enough.
Where would they put the photo booth?
If AMC,
I'll help them, okay?
if they had massage chairs, I think I would sign up for
See?
the A-list thing.
You
For
would
sure.
massage chairs.
Oh,
That's
yeah. I wouldn't even
Yes.
go for the movie. I would just go for the massage. I work out a
Then why
lot.
have a movie theater?
Massage chair.
Right. See?
But that's not really saving them. That's just changing your business.
You have to change a business to save the business. You can't stay the same and expect you don't do the same and get different results. So yeah, no, this all makes sense to me. This is something probably I would do.
I
But
think raising prices is a bad idea. I think if they just have more quality movies, they
No,
lower the prices,
no.
you would get a better experience.
no, they can't lower the
AMC
prices.
They
doesn't
can.
necessarily decide which
We
movies
can't.
go, national though, do they?
What's that?
AMC doesn't decide which movies get distributed nationally. That's
Right.
Well, I mean, they go through a distributor and they buy the movies, so they can choose and decide what movies they want to buy.
Mm-hmm.
The YouTube guy, Iron Lung,
Mm-hmm.
Markiplier, they weren't going to carry his movie.
Uh-huh.
They heard about it. It became a big overnight sensation by a viral overnight thing, grassroots movement. Like, oh, we want to buy this movie. So they can do whatever they want. They make the decision of what they want to buy. So they should just buy better movies,
That's-
make better movies, not increase prices for the same thing. Why increase prices for the same service? You're not getting anything better.
I'm just
Because
saying
they're
in
not
terms
thinking
of
out of the box.
the movies that are receiving like these big Hollywood budgets, right? Like that's really up to the movie studios more than it is AMC.
Right, but then they also are charged. I mean, as I used to work in a movie theater, so as many people know, if you go to music video, if you go to a movie or a concert, whatever, the venue does not make money on the performer. They make money on the concession.
And the massage chairs.
And the massage chairs.
And the drugs.
So then why charge so much for the concession items? Why not lower the price of the concession items?
Well, the origin of popcorn, if I'm remembering correctly, that historically it was a really cheap snack, and that's part of how the movie theater stayed in business through the Great Depression.
$30,
Right.
And then they're making collectible buckets that people are charging $70 for.
That's wow.
And they're
Jeez.
like, it just doesn't seem like this is a good idea to have this special thing to make it more exclusive and then charge more money for it.
My thought was they could go local, find local filmmakers,
I like that.
and like for do screenings that really appeal to each individual
There you
community.
go.
But I could see how that would be hard for a big national company to roll out.
Because they have to have boots on the ground and find out what each individual thing is.
It could be done though.
It could be done. I used to work at Blockbuster, as I've mentioned many times, and they always had that corporate identity problem. Sometimes it was a pendulum. Sometimes they went, let's do all the Blockbusters be exactly the same. And then they went the other way, like, oh, let's focus on small independent guys. So each Blockbuster, you had a Blockbuster here, they had a local filmmaker, his movie was in the Blockbuster. You have a Blockbuster over there, his movie's not there because it's a different local filmmaker. But then it went back and forth and back and
Interesting.
forth. It was a
Okay.
very, then they kind of evened out so that every time there was a new releases, they had what was called the fifth row. So you had the shelves on Blockbuster, and the fifth row across the entire new release wall was all independent films.
Oh.
That was kind of the balance.
I think they just got to change the whole experience. I really do, because a lot of people don't want to go. They're sharing a seat that all these different butts have been in. That keeps people out. With
I'd
COVID.
share a massage chair.
Right, exactly. I mean, listen, I almost went to one of my friend's houses just because he has a massage chair.
You almost went there.
Well, yeah, because I had a lot to do. But that was one of the draws. You see, I was like, wow, I can use a massage chair. But if you didn't have a massage chair, I
wouldn't
would
even
be like,
entertain the thought.
I'm definitely 100, now 99% definitely. Now, so.
Okay.
Alright,
Moving
change
on.
the experience. I think they gotta change it up.
Moving on.
Yeah.
From the, you're going to be reading it a lot from this one. From the, it worked for the LIRR department. That's probably one of the last ones.
Alright.
None other than Dark Horse Comics has announced that it has formed a comic book union. Dark Horse Workers United cites 3 primary goals: improving job security, wages, and benefits, increasing transparency and equity in the workplace to foster more comfortable communication between teams in which integral workplace information is shared within the entire company, and 3, taking a seat at the table when it comes to critical decision making that impacts stakeholders, including workers. Union rep says,
"We are the workers that make Dark Horse a home to the unique comics, creators, and creative principles known around the world. Dark Horse publishes an expansive collection of titles that span a diverse spectrum of voices and genres. Creator rights were at the heart of Dark Horse's founding, and our company strives to make fair deals with artists and writers to this day. However, as the workers at Dark Horse, we are regularly undercompensated and discounted, despite our essential role in the publishing process. Unfortunately, this is all too common in creative industries. Our union is fighting to win the same dignity and support for Dark Horse workers that we promised Dark Horse creators. Our union fights not only to secure workers' rights for Dark Horse employees, but also to support the comics and entertainment industries at large to a better and brighter future for all."
Dark Horse CEO says,
I'm pleased to announce that Dark Horse Comics is willing to voluntarily recognize Dark Horse Workers United as a recognized collective bargaining representative under standards established by the National Labor Relations Board, NLRB. Our representatives have reached out to the union's attorney to initiate the appropriate next steps in the process. I read your statement carefully, and I realized that organizing a union is not something people do lightly. It takes courage, coordination, and a level of trust in each other. I understand the employees' disappointment with how issues have historically been addressed. You've taken this step because you believe Dark Horse can be better. So do I. Over the years, this company has asked a great deal of its employees. People have poured themselves into this work, accepting conditions, absorbing uncertainty, and sometimes carrying burdens that were not always fairly distributed because they believed in what Dark Horse stood for. That belief is something we must honor. Dark Horse understands and accepts the obligation to change, and as we embark on this journey, we will do so in genuine partnership across the entire team. You hear that? Voluntary recognition is an unusual step for employers, but in doing so, Dark Horse intends to reaffirm its commitment that this new leadership wants to do things differently and enter into good faith bargaining. Not because we are required to, but because it is the right thing to do. The path to a strong Dark Horse runs through a workforce that feels heard, respected, and genuinely invested in the company's future, not one that feels like it must fight just to be seen. To our creators and licensors, the team at Dark Horse Comics has delivered excellence for your time and time again. We see that excellence. Dark Horse is committed to providing a more supportive environment to ensure that legacy continues. To fans of Dark Horse Comics, we care deeply, not just about the stories we bring you, but about how we bring them to life. With greater respect and improved working conditions, we'll build a Dark Horse you can believe in for more than just great comics. On behalf of the Dark Horse Comics leadership team, we look forward to sitting down at the bargaining table with Dark Horse Workers United and continue to build something of which we are all proud.
so, comic book union.
Comic book
That's
union.
crazy that it took this long for something like this to happen. As an actor, producer, director, who does not like SAG,
Correct.
what are your thoughts
I just don't have a
on-
use for them. I never met them, so I guess I don't like them.
Okay.
They're useless
Who
to me.
has no use for SAG?
I had no use for you.
And they have called against your couple of shoots that you were on, right? You said you were on some sets. that
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what are your thoughts of a comic book union?
I wish them good well. I wish them well. You know what? Try it out. Good luck. This is the only thing I
Try
have
it
to say.
out.
Yeah, try it out. Good luck. You know, I got no skin in this game. I hope everyone treats each other nicely. You know, play fairly. You know, wear a helmet, all that. You know, by wear a helmet, I actually mean like be careful for what you get into. And this is something that a lot of actors don't think about because in SAG, a lot of brainwashed actors, sorry, but you're brainwashed if you're still, oh, please, I hope I can be in SAG one day. The only way you're going to get health insurance, which is one of the main benefits of SAG, is I think, I don't forget if it was 24 or 27,000 a year, but you had to make a certain amount.
Right. you have
So
to make-
unless you were like a regular, I don't think you have to be a co-star, but you have to have a pretty big role in something. You're not getting benefits from SAG, you're just paying dues. So is this company gonna have a bunch of people pay dues with no benefits, or they're gonna pay dues and get benefits? So as someone that would be in the union, what am I paying? What am I getting? That's something I think a lot of people don't even think of because they just want to be part of something so bad.
What are your thoughts?
Well, I'm a proud member of the Dramatists Guild, and to share, hopefully a story that restores some faith in unions. They actually recently helped me out with a bridge grant to help me get through a really tough time.
Wow.
So yeah, I've been paying dues for years, and
it worked.
They literally, like, within 2 weeks, I've never gotten a bridge grant that quickly.
What is a bridge grant for
Oh,
listeners? What's a bridge
A
grant?
bridge grant from the Dramatist Guild is a small, a sum of money that they distribute to writers at pivotal financial moments.
Wow.
To
So
bridge
that's
you from
nice
one
to
thing
hear.
the other.
That's
Yeah.
actually the only piece of union good news I've heard in 2026.
Oh, well, there you go.
So it's nice to hear.
Not only that, but the Dramatist Guild Foundation,
Uh-huh.
which is the charity funded by the Dramatist Guild
Okay.
and the dues, they offer free rehearsal space for
Okay.
writers in New York City. So we just had our opening night concert
Mhm.
the day before yesterday. Pretty much every single one of the rehearsals that we held for those concerts, I was able to host those rehearsals completely for free at the Dramatist Guild Foundation Music Hall and at the other rooms that they have for free.
And it's
So-
good conditions.
Oh, it's beautiful. They have a big grand piano.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Success story. Look at
Yeah,
that.
so
That's
the
great.
Dramatist Guild.
Okay.
It's a great union.
And that's for people who write theater, write plays.
Everyone who is a theater writer can rent
Okay.
those spaces. You don't even have to be a member who pays dues.
But not theater actors.
No, it's specifically for writers,
Writers.
because it's Dramatist Guild. Like, a
Gotcha.
dramatist is someone who writes music for musical theater or writes as a playwright.
I call
or-
my mom a dramatist. So I was
Yeah.
wondering, trying to get her some free money, you know?
Yeah.
So dramatic.
Well,
Yeah.
if she wants to pay dues, I doubt they'd turn her
She
down.
paid dues. She
Yeah.
loves unions. She loves being part of something.
Yeah. It was a really proud moment when
Oh,
I
cool.
received my my union card that said
So good.
Dramatist Guild on it. It was lovely.
Very nice. So hey, maybe Dark Horse can learn from.
Yeah.
So
From
what
this,
do you think
hey.
that a comic book company was their first, I think it's their first comic book union.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty wild to think that A, it took so long,
Yeah.
and B, that they actually accepted it, because usually they don't, big companies don't like
Yeah.
unions.
I mean, this is the first that I'm hearing about the situation, so obviously I'm not going to provide the most educated take, but I mean, it sounds like even the CEO is acknowledging
Right.
that there were some issues that were unfairly distributed, and he said everything. If I were an employee
You'd
who
wanna
felt
hear.
so who felt so strongly that I felt I needed to unionize, everything said here would give me a lot of faith that the company is going to act in good faith and work with me and my people to make sure the work is fair for everyone. That said, actions speak a lot louder than words.
Exactly.
So you can say all the right things, and if that doesn't lead to any actionable steps,
Yeah, I thought we were having no wars this year, but we're in like we're back in war. That was just a lot of talk.
The thing about a comic book union, it's weird because a lot of it is freelancers. So having known the industry, how it works, it's really odd that they would be able to form a union. That's probably why it took so long.
I'm a freelance writer in the Dramatist Guild.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And then to see what kind of power the union has to direct what the company makes. Now, obviously, this is just for Dark Horse Comics, but if this does work, I'd be interested to see where we would go with Marvel, because that's owned by Disney, and we know how Disney is. So I'm very curious to see. Hopefully this will work and be beneficial to everybody involved, make everybody a lot of money, and won't be any problems. But as it stands, if you have a strike for a comic book, that's gonna be crazy to think about. And because of the way comic books work, you won't even see the damage, much like when the Screen Actors Guild went on strike. You don't see it until months down the line, so you don't even notice it. As opposed to when the LIRR went on strike, it took one day of Monday, and like, all right, we got to fix this. So I find it to be a very interesting little place that we're at. So I hope that it works out well. I'm very curious to see where it goes, and I guess we'll be following it as time comes.
I would just love to know how this came about. Like, I would love to know the insider ins and outs. Like, maybe a bunch of people are going to quit, and they're like, oh, we'll give you a union. I don't know. Or maybe... I don't know, or maybe they want to get more people working for them. Maybe they want to have more people publishing with Dark Horse, because that would make me want to publish with Dark Horse rather than someone who can't look me in the face. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah.
So that's it for the news. So we're going to take a quick break in front of a live studio audience.
Thank you guys. Thanks for
We'll be right
being
back with
here.
more. It came from the radio.
All right.
Hey everybody, this is Todd McFarlane of the record-setting Spawn comic series. And if you're looking for any kind of cool conversation about creators, about entertainment, about all that good stuff, you go to It Came From The Radio. You're listening to the right spot.
This is Quentin Flynn, a popular voice actor known for Axel, Tamon, and Raiden from the Metal Gear series. And you're listening to It Came From The Radio. Stick around.
Hey, I'm Mike Kingston, the writer and creator of Headlocked.
And I am WWE Hall of Famer Jerry the King Lawler. And guess what you're listening to? You're listening to It Came From The Radio.
Hi, this is Amy Jo Johnson, writer-director from the film The Space Between, and you're listening to It Came From The Radio.
Meet Grimlock having fun on It Came From The Radio. Meet Greg Berger also.
Now, back to our show.
And welcome back to It Came From The Radio, the official show of the Big Apple Con. This is your host, Mark Torres, speaking. We are here live in front of a live studio audience at the East Meadow Public Library for our 105th live show. I am joined by my co-host, L-Man Jane Felding.
Thank you for having me.
And we're here with, gotta read the title, award-winning musical theater writer and performer, Sair Kaufman. Now, usually, as I mentioned many times on the show, I've known the person beforehand, but this is actually the first time meeting.
Yeah.
So, tell me a little bit about yourself, and we'll take it from there.
Absolutely, yeah. My name is Sair Kaufman.
So Sair, not Sair.
Yeah, like air with an S on it. Yeah.
Did you read, Mark? It's air with an S. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much what it says on the tin. I write musical theater. I am not a novelist, despite evidence to the contrary. I was featured in a couple of newspapers.
Okay.
For
musical theater writing.
Oh,
I would hope so.
maybe it was like her
performing.
love interest. It was like some
Goodness.
TMZ stuff.
No, I was in contention for Love on the Spectrum once.
I'm watching that show, and I just told my dad and his entire dental office on speaker last night from the shower that they gotta watch that show.
Yeah,
That's so funny.
I think I was too shy for them because they were like, "Do you have any crushes?" And I was like, "I don't want to say." And they were like,
no.
"This is a TV show where you have to," and I was like, "I understand."
Go back on. I love that show. I love it.
I'm too much of a private person.
Me too.
But you're a performer, so
Yes.
It's different.
how are you? Well, explain that. The
It's
difference.
different. It's so different.
Explain
So
it to me,
different.
please.
Oh, gosh. Well, talking about your own life is inherently different from playing a character. Because when you're playing a character, you are not you.
Correct.
But what if the character you're playing is you?
But it's not.
It's not.
It can't be.
I have
Why
different.
can't it be?
I have different.
What do you think
versions
I'm
of
right? It's
myself
a
that I
version.
play.
You're getting a version
Yeah,
of me right now.
exactly.
You're not getting the version I was 2 hours ago in my kitchen.
But you're still you.
I am, but whenever I walk into a room that's public, or whenever I even walk outside my door, because everything is recorded nowadays. We're getting flat cameras. You're going to be recorded while you're driving your car. I just say, okay, I'm public now, and there's a public persona. And even people who have analyzed me, who are like famous psychics, they've said, you come off real. And I am real. It's a version of myself that's real, but I can filter real fast, and it's a totally different person than when I'm on the phone with you, maybe at 1 a.m. talking to you. I know, or I think I'm not being recorded. It's a different version. This is going out to the public.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's totally different.
I would say the biggest thing about me is probably I am a musical theater writer, and I am big on accessibility. So making art that is accessible to new communities, especially communities who have historically been left out of the picture when it comes to theater.
So when it becomes musical theater, are you always thinking of songs in the back of your head and writing a story around the song, or are you writing a story and then like what song would fit into the story?
Good question.
It's always story first for
Story
me.
first.
Yeah, story, then lyric / melody, and then the rest.
So is there like a specific timing, like there has to be 3 songs per X amount of words or per story, or is like I have to insert a certain song in every single part, or is it just
It's
it
different.
feels right?
It's different for each project
Really?
because form follows, or function follows form. So I did a 10-minute musical inspired by my grandfather's work in vision psychology,
Okay.
so specifically on the moon
Vision.
illusion. Yeah.
Wow.
Have you heard of the moon illusion?
No.
So have you ever noticed that the moon looks really, really big when it's on the horizon?
Okay.
Yep, and then it looks much smaller when it's right above your head. That is called the moon illusion. People have been speculating about this since the time of Aristotle.
Wow.
And my grandfather was the psychologist who finally figured out why that happens. And it has a lot more to do with your brain than it does your eyeballs. So I wrote a musical that sort of tracked the history of this illusion from the time of Aristotle through my grandfather's time to today.
Wow.
And so that was almost entirely sung through, and we didn't receive really any significant dialogue until we reached the modern era. Because it's like we're telling this story, this is all musical because it is a part of the story, and then here we have arrived at the present, and now we can speak.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what kind of influences in music are incorporated into your work?
Like this work specifically, or just in general?
Well, let's go with this work specifically.
The moon.
Absolutely. So, basically, 2020, like many others, I was completely unemployed, funemployed, if you will.
Fun and play.
And the only thing I really had going for me was a D&D game run by my friend Chloe. And I was completely obsessed because there was nothing else going on in my life. It was such a special thing to be a part of. And it was also, it was our only chance to interact with other people the entire week, even if it was just virtually. And so for Chloe's birthday, to thank her for creating this really beautiful, vibrant world for us to all play around in, I decided I was going to write her my character's backstory. So I sat down, her birthday's like a week away, I'm thinking this will be a fun like 3,000 word, maybe 5,000 word little thing, and I emerged 1 week later with a 63,000 word novel.
A week later?
Yeah.
63,000 words in a week? Holy
Different words and all the
shnikes.
same.
And so,
Okay.
and so that's how the novel, The Reality Shaper, came to be, is it all just sort of came out of me all at once.
Whoa.
And yeah.
So this was for a close friend of yours.
This is
about
this is
a
for
character.
Chloe. There's actually
in your character in D&D, correct?
It was based on my character's backstory. And if you scroll, this is Chloe right here.
Cute.
There's a picture.
She looks like a very nice girl.
She is a very nice girl.
You can tell sometimes from people's faces.
She's also absolutely savage when she needs to be.
I can
which
see
is
that.
good.
I can see that. I can see that. But she could also be really girly, and you might not think that she could be savage, right? Maybe.
Yeah. No, she's a broad with a blade.
Okay, so for me, I wrote a health guidebook. I'm throwing back to you, don't worry. And every page, almost every page, was some client of mine needed some piece of information, or they asked me a question. I said, well, I'm going to have to write you a couple pages. And that's the way the entire book, 145 pages, came about, because someone needed it. So do you find when you're writing for someone or someone's in mind, it's easier rather than I'm just gonna write a story and I hope everyone likes it?
Every
it's like to someone.
every single thing that I write is to or for someone specific from my life. This was for Chloe. Every single one of my other books was dedicated to a specific person, and it's reflected in the writing. One of the people to whom I dedicated a book really loves, we're familiar with a Gilligan cut.
Okay. No, I'm not familiar.
A Gilligan cut is, for example, a character says, no, absolutely not. We are not going hiking. I hate hiking. And then
you go hiking.
you literally cut to that character hiking and pouting about it.
Oh, I just watched a show last night that happened.
Yep. So
That
it's
show.
called a Gilligan cut. I'm not sure why. Maybe
I
from
would've
Four
Gilligan's
thought
seasons.
that's
If you
why-
watch the 4 seasons on, I think
Yeah.
it's Netflix or something, they do that a lot.
But
Thank you.
this was a favorite of someone who I
Okay.
dedicated a book to.
Okay.
And so that book has a couple of Gilligan cuts in it, which is distinct from the other books.
Oh wow.
Because they are fairly absent from the others. But yeah, every single thing that I write is for someone.
Do you
Moon
know-
Illusion was for my grandpa.
Your grandpa. Do you know anyone in real life who does it to Gilligan Cut who's like, no, and then they do it? Do you know anyone?
Yes.
I could be like that a little.
The exact same friend.
Oh, the exact same friend?
Who
And then
loves the
they're
Gilligan
doing
cut
it?
is the exact same. Can I tell this story?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, they're here tonight.
Oh, cool.
The audience member says yes, so it's fine.
There you go.
So,
Love a little consent.
Yeah, so that's Kai over there, and for years I begged Kai to watch Trouble with Tribbles with me, the episode from Star Trek, the original series. Not you should binge Star Trek with me, not you should watch all of Star Trek with me, just you should watch Trouble with Tribbles. It's a really great episode. I think you would like it. Also, this person is really into history and like TV history and like the 60s especially. So I'm like, I feel like you would really actually like this show. Every time it's like, no. I don't like Star Trek. I'm like, if you've never watched Star Trek, how do you know you don't like Star Trek?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I don't like Star Wars. I'm like, okay, but they're not the same thing.
That's my logic, exactly.
I don't like Star Wars either.
Okay.
I'm a Star Trek loyalist.
Okay. Huh.
So finally, I had a bad day, came home, they were like, you want to watch Trouble with Tribbles? I was like, yes, absolutely, I want to watch Trouble with Tribbles. So put on Trouble with Tribbles, we watch it, I'm cracking up, they're keeping a poker face. We finished the episode, I'm like, thank you for watching that with me. They don't say anything, they just say, you're welcome. The next day, we're trying to decide what we're going to watch. I'm like, what do you want to watch? They're like, well, I don't know, I guess we can watch some more Star Trek. If you want to watch some more Star Trek, jump forward a month. They are going to a Star Trek convention upstate without me.
That is hilarious. Without you.
Without me.
It was not a month.
Wow.
It was a few weeks.
So
at the most.
I just have to know because I can relate to this entire thing. You're just am I your friend? Is that what you're describing? What was it? Can we know what was it about Star Trek that they thought it was, and then they found out it was something
They
else?
thought it was Star Wars, and it's not Star Wars.
Right. That's me too.
Star Trek is.
It's not.
It was marketed as a space western, but it's so much its own thing. It really just go watch. Trouble
Star
with
Wars
Tribbles.
is really giving Star Trek a bad rap. That's all I got.
And they have nothing to do with each other.
Okay.
Star Trek is
Clear that up.
hilarious.
Okay.
Go watch Trouble with Tribbles.
Okay.
If you like it, you might like Star Trek.
Got it. All right. So you already answered my first question. Was
Okay.
how did the reality?
Yes.
How did this come about? And now you have.
So I wrote the book for Chloe. I sent it to Chloe. Now Chloe and I went to theater school together.
Right.
And Chloe has for years supported my theater writing and my songwriting. And so pretty much the second I sent over this book, Chloe was like, okay, reality shaper musical when? And I said, Chloe, it's a 63,000 word novel.
Yeah.
You can expect a musical round about the time 6.5 hour musicals come out this time. But here's the thing, is I had just been diagnosed with autism. And
2020?
2020.
Okay.
I was 22 years old.
Oh wow.
And I had never, I think I had known peripherally, but I really became involved in the disabled community. And I realized how inaccessible theater is, not only to the disabled community, but also to people who can't afford the skyrocketing prices of theater tickets, people who geographically just don't live in a place where there is a lot of theater. And so there was a lot kind of going through my mind at that time about how to make theater that was more accessible.
Right.
And that's when I came to the thought that you could take what was so wonderful about audio-only musicals such as 36 Questions and In Strange Woods and create a form of musical theater that would be accessible to all of these groups. So what the Reality Shaper became is a 6.5 hour podcast musical broken into 11 roughly half-hour episodes.
Got it. So it's like more like an audio book?
It
sort
is.
of?
Are you familiar with an audio play?
Yes.
It's an audio play with music. So it has an opening number, it has a closing number, it has character establishment songs. And every episode is its own contained 30-minute musical, beginning, middle, and end.
Wow.
So when you did that, did you have to rewrite the book to form into the half-hour segments, or was that already?
Oh yeah. There was some total restructuring going on. There are some parts of the book that happen really, really early on, and then in the podcast they happen closer to the middle of the arc. There was a lot of shifting moments around and changing beats around, condensing things. There was a lot of rewriting involved. The book stayed the same structure because I think it was an ideal structure for a novel, but that structure isn't necessarily going to translate to an episodic piece.
Is that a different train of thought when you're adapting your own work for a different medium?
I think it's easier in some ways because something about this story just has always been very, I think, intrinsic to the way that my brain and my creativity works. So it's very easy for me to distinguish a change that keeps the integrity of the story and the characters intact, and a change that would change something fundamental.
That's actually kind of a cool thing. I've actually had my work adapted, and it's an amazing experience. Somebody else adapted my work, and just seeing how that process is and collaborating with that person, it blows my mind how it's different but the same.
Yeah.
So when you're doing the podcast for half-hour segments, you're doing it fully musical, you're doing all the voices, do you have a cast?
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, our first 2 episodes aired yesterday.
Yeah.
Yesterday, yeah. Our episode 1 and episode 2 came out. We have a full cast. It's 30 or 40 different voice actors and singers.
Wow.
So now,
a lot of them are currently on Broadway. So.
And they're all in the same location recording, or you get them all on a Zoom call recording?
So all of the dialogue recording was done in Brooklyn over the course of 2 or 3 weeks.
Separate individual recordings.
A lot of the music was also captured in that time, but there was some music that we were unable to capture in that time that was captured. Actually, do you know Has Been Hotel?
I've heard of it.
Andrew Underberg, who does music, is a friend of mine from BMI, and he graciously allows us to use his studio.
That's amazing.
So a lot of the music was recorded there.
Oh, so you layer them? You do everything individually and then layer them?
Yeah. Well, with the music especially, it sometimes requires a different environment.
Yeah.
From dialogue, which can be more forgiving because we're going to be layering in.
Yeah. You do it in your kitchen. You know? Call back, you know.
So now my question is, when you're doing this type of thing and then you see the finished product, how close is it to what you originally had in mind?
That is such a good question. I've been working on, I wrote the book in 2020, I've been working on the podcast for 6 years. The first 2 episodes dropped yesterday. I don't think it's fully sunk in because Monday night we had our launch concert in Williamsburg where we brought a bunch of the cast together to sing some songs from the season, and that was a wildly ambitious and successful event. It was so wonderful to just imagine like all of your favorite people in one space singing.
Yeah.
So I don't think I've had any time to really process, but I think it turned out a lot better than I thought it was going to. We have just a dream team. My one of the music lead on our team right now, Anna Taylor, came to me and was like, "These are the people who I want to go out to first." And I was like, yes, absolutely, I love all of these people. We got our first choice of everyone. We got our first choice, mixer, masterer, audio, vocal, post-production vocal engineer, drummer, and orchestrator. Like, first choice everyone, and you can hear it. Like, I'm blown away by the work that they've done.
Wow. So you gotta do another one?
Oh.
Yeah, it's like you just finished.
Yeah, after
but,
6 years. Well, we are planning to try and get some crowdfunding for another season. I think our ability to do another season is going to be contingent upon the crowdfunding.
Same topic, or would you just switch?
Well, there's five books. So the season 1 is book 1, and then we could have potentially 5 seasons, 1 for each book.
Right. Wow. And this is all in a week. It's all written in a week, but it's funny how something you write in a week, right? It can take 6 years to actually come to fruition.
Yeah, well, and I held off on self-publishing the book until I knew the podcast was going to be coming out, because I figured it would be great cross-promotion.
Yeah. Wow. What's the biggest challenge with, I guess, the podcast part? Like, what's something, or maybe something that you were surprised by, that you're like, oh, I didn't know I had to know about this stuff. Like, what's something you learned about?
Well, it's all of the stuff you don't think about. Like,
right, exactly.
Like, how specifically do you cue and schedule something on Libsyn to make sure it comes out at the exact right time? And then do you release the episode at 7, like before a bunch of people are going to be commuting, or do you release it at midnight to make sure it's synced to all of the different podcasts? But like all of these things that you have to think about as they come up. The strategy that I developed was getting way, way, way ahead of myself at all times. I would be solving problems that were like 3 or 4 weeks away.
That's great.
And that way, when problems came up in the moment, I had the bandwidth to solve them, because I'd already solved the rest of today's problems 3 weeks ago.
But that probably helps you not only get the people on board you wanted to, because they probably saw that, because people can tell, and keep them, because that's how you lose people too, by not doing that.
Oh, but you lose people by being efficient too. There are definitely, as you know, as an artist yourself, there are some people in our industry who would much rather never come out with deadlines or any kind of accountability, or.
But then you lose the unprofessionals, but you usually keep the professionals. But there's professionals who also can't keep time. There's some really talented people.
There's some really talented people who would really prefer that there never be deadlines for anything.
Yeah.
And that's what I'll say about that.
Yeah.
I know some people like that.
No.
I don't want to. I mean, it depends. Yeah, I don't want a deadline.
Collaboration is hard, and working on a team is hard, and I don't think we talk about that enough. Like, I've had 2 writing partnerships fall apart over the past 6 years, just because priorities shift, and someone might commit to doing something a year ago, and then by the time it comes time to deliver, their life is different in some, significantly substantial way, and they're no longer able to do it, but then things get in the way of being able to change plans, right? And whether that's ego, whether that's fear, whether that's, a kind of misguided attempt to preserve like a personal relationship, things get in the way of people being able to effectively communicate with each other, and it's so tough. It's so hard.
Yeah, I had a 2.5-hour conversation based on literally just who you're collaborating with, who you're partnering with, who you're working for, psychoanalysis of everyone, because unfortunately or fortunately, you have to really get into the psychology and scheduling. Can this person do this or that? And this? You have to kind of gossip, actually, to learn about it, because actually gossip is evolutionary helpful to keep the tribe and keep you safe. If you don't gossip and know what's safe and what's not, you're gonna die.
Right. And it also helps to set unspoken social standards. Like, if someone, I don't know, my philosophy has always been, if you don't want me talking about your behavior to other people, that probably says more about your behavior than it does about my discussion of it.
That's good.
Or you could talk well about them too.
I
Some
talk
people
well
do
about
so well
everyone.
that you want to tell everyone.
I talk on and on about how brilliant my friends are. Evan Michael Smith, who was in Moon Illusion and was also in the concert day before yesterday, always constantly doing these beautiful queer shows like all across Manhattan. I am blown away by their stamina. I don't know how they do it. They're all over the island.
Cocaine. Magic mind.
Yeah, my partner says I'm not allowed to do cocaine.
No, don't. I have a strict rule.
You
Don't.
say it like you're an expert.
Because I worked. Comedians
Haven't
are
you been
experts
to
in
her
cocaine.
kitchen?
No, I won't. Cocaine is. It always is a problem. Nope. And alcoholism. Yeah, that's even alcohol. It's a problem.
I did at one point decide to become an alcoholic.
Okay.
Yeah, it lasted about 2 hours.
2 hours.
Yeah. I
Perfect.
finished half a can of Angry Orchard.
Good. That's great. You don't need it. And also, it's becoming trendy to not drink anymore either.
I never got into it.
Good.
I
don't,
love
yeah.
a mocktail.
Yeah, you don't need it. Yeah. Health is wealth, baby, right?
Yeah, girl.
Yeah, you
I
need
go to
your
the
strength.
gym. That's my drug
There
of
you go.
choice.
That's
I can do a
good.
handstand.
I cannot. I cannot. I've tried. This is great. This is an impressive guest we have.
So,
I've learned a lot.
social media time.
Yeah.
Oh,
Where
goodness.
can people find out more about you? Where can they listen to the podcast? Where can they get
Absolutely.
all your stuff? Go.
I am at Sair Kaufman. That's SairKaufman at Sair Kaufman on Instagram and on TikTok. You can also follow the podcast at The Reality Shaper, spelled exactly like that, on TikTok and Instagram as well. And to buy the book or listen to the podcast, you can go to www.therealityshaper.com.
And you're kind enough to give away
Oh yes! I'm giving away a copy of the book. I'm happy to sign it. I haven't signed it because I know some people don't want it to be signed, but I'm happy to sign it. Whoever receives it.
Who wouldn't want it to be signed? Crazy.
Some people don't. It's
crazy.
Yeah. But we're also giving away 2 tickets to Trek Long Island, which is actually this weekend, June 12th to 14th. So since you're our guest, you get to decide, is it going to be one package? You want 2 separate raffles? And which one?
Oh God.
It's all on you. Want to do it
It's
separate?
wait, hang on. I feel like we should take a poll. Okay, audience.
I like that.
Raise your hand if you want
It's an
one
audio
person.
show. We need noise.
Okay,
She has a
yell if you want one person to win it all.
Yeah.
Okay, that's one vote for one person.
I love to.
Yell if you want to split this up into different raffles.
Split it out.
Okay, that's at least 5 for different
All right,
raffles.
so
Sorry,
now it's your
sorry.
option. We do the tickets
So,
first, or we do
Can't win
the
them
book
all.
first?
Yeah.
Let's do book first and then tickets, because I
Book first.
feel like everybody's here for the tickets, so that's probably the big ticket item.
No, you never know.
All right, so no looking.
Okay, but
Pick one.
if Kai wins this one, I'm picking a different ticket.
What?
37. You already have a copy of that.
They can get another one. They
30?
can have 2.
I
It's not like a
don't.
law.
She got the t-shirt.
I do have the t-shirt. I don't have a copy of the book.
37, 67, 47.
67, 47. There
There we go.
Yeah.
You have a copy of the book
You
already?
want, all right, you want the book. Okay, so now this is for the tickets.
For the tickets.
Okay.
No looking.
I'm not peeking.
You got it?
I got it. 37, 67, 48.
48, 48, 48, 48.
Didn't you pull one for Cal?
I did pull one for Cal. Cal probably had it because he's recording, so he's not looking at his ticket. Are you
Oh.
48? There you go. You got the ticket.
Oh, there we go.
Yay. Oh, I'll do it in a second.
Okay.
Almost out of time. Final thought?
I wanted the book.
Yes.
I'm not giving it up.
Oh man, I didn't know we'd be fighting over. Final thoughts.
Final thoughts.
Me and a team of some of the most spectacular rising creatives that I know worked for 6 long years on this podcast. So if you like Dungeons and Dragons, if you like fantasy, if you like musical theater, I would love for you to check it out. I sent Mark the trailers, so that might
Play on right
play
after
on
this.
right after this. So
Cool.
if it sounds cool to you, give it a shot.
Jen, final thought?
Yes, photon energy hitting your skin, the sunlight hitting your skin actually changes you on a molecular basis. It actually breaks apart 2 carbon atoms and changes you as a person and changes 300 biological processes. So go outside and get some sun for at least 15 minutes and your body's going to work. Otherwise, it's not going to work.
And so my final thought is this. Thank you so much for being a guest on our show. It was a pleasure meeting you. I really love the journey because I can empathize and relate to the journey. As I'm a little different, but I can see from the conception to something, then having changed to something else and having it grow, and that you did in such a small amount of time, and that now it's a large part of your life and you have much more investment into it, and it's such a big deal. I can see it in your eyes, and it's really, really cool. So congratulations on that.
Bravo.
Much continued success. I look forward for season 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah.
So guys, make sure if you like crowdfunding, go check out her
And
stuff.
don't burn out.
You can pre-save our Kickstarter.
You gotta rest.
There you go. So that about does it for this week on the Came From the Radio. Join us
That's
right here and every week on this radio show. If you miss any part of the show,
Tough.
go to our website, www.itcamefromradio.com. We have our next live show, which is going to be on Wednesday, July 8th. And for this one,
Oh, yeah.
we're going to have Elman Jenny Feldy is going to be hosting the show with special guest, designated creator, Mark Torres.
I've heard of him. I've heard of
Very
him.
interesting show
I
to
feel like
see
I've heard of that guy.
Jen host it and me be the guest. So if you
it'll
guys
be
want
fun.
to check it out, make sure you guys come down. Thanks for being part of Live to the Audience.
You guys.
And we'll see you next time.
All right. Awesome. Looks
You've
good.
been listening to It Came From the Radio with Mark Torres. The views of the show's hosts and guests did not necessarily reflect that of the management, owners, or staff of this station.